If you haven't been watching the Denver Nuggets this year, you might be unaware that Christian Braun is arguably the best rookie perimeter defender. And if you are a Nuggets fan, you might know him as CB or CBD or even Alex Caruso with great hair. Side note, we need a nickname for him. This defensive stud has been terrorizing teams and backcourts for probably the past 5 games at this point. And ever since the bum Highland trade, he's been a very good player for the Nuggets. Plays like this get me excited for Christian on defense. He is going to use a fundamental chest up technique, and he's bigger than Bogey, and he knows this. And so he's going to go ahead and use his chest up and just jump up vertically to contest this shot. Alex Caruso is another guy who's known for the chest up technique. He gets squared and positions himself really well. And once Caruso does this, he gets into a really good position to go ahead and body his defender and make his opposing offensive player rethink what they're going to do to him. And Christian has shown this season, especially guarding Jordan Poole, but he also showed it on that drive. Anyways, here's a play where Onyeka sets a screen for DeJounte, and Christian tags onto Onyeka, but he switches right back to DeJounte and completely disrupts his play. He snatched that lob/floater attempt like a school bully. And CB is a certified pest as he comes right back off the snatch that DeJounte tried to do. And just look at this timing and contest he gets on a player bigger than him. And look at Christian using his 6'7" frame to work here, getting a charge on DeAndre Hunter. Here is another clip of Christian being a pest as he was tagged onto the center being Capella and goes right back to Bogey and forces a really good stop, showing his ability to have really good hands and feet. But I'm going to show this clip again. Look at Christian go right back to Bogey. And I talked about his hands and his feet, but look at his hips. He displays the chest up thing that I was talking about. Like I said, keeping his frame straight, but also having really good hips and keeping his body squared up. And while I love Christian's technique, there's times where he'll just lapse out. He is a good screen navigator, but right here he doesn't get skinny enough and just gets beat by a shiftier and quicker LaMelo Ball. But Christian, you can fight over that screen. You're strong enough and you're really athletic. You should be able to get over that screen and get skinny and guard a shiftier player like LaMelo. Anyways, back to the analysis. LaMelo gets the rebound off his floater attempt, and he sends it back out to DSJ. And once LaMelo relocates off the ball, Christian's going to go ahead and stunt, but he doesn't go all the way, and he lets Ish Smith attack this shot. Here is another play where he does the chest up technique, but LaMelo is just too quick for him, and Jokic isn't the ideal rim protector to stop that floater. But I think it was a learning curve thing for Christian, as LaMelo is known for playing really high, and this is a really good thing for Christian with his chest up technique. And since Christian is stronger than LaMelo and more athletic, he's able to go ahead and just kind of pinpoint LaMelo into an angle where it's harder for him to get off this shot, and Christian gets a really good contest and forces LaMelo to take a low percentage shot. He also let LaMelo shoot with the inside hand instead of the outside hand being his left, so really good defense by Christian. Right here, Christian Braun's on the weak side, and he's eyeing the left side of the floor. And right here, he notices that Ant is going to come and drive. Ant attacks this drive, and DJ not being the rim protector he used to be doesn't help. But Christian comes over and plays the help and gets a really good block. And by the way, that was a really good contest by Bruce. And I think Bruce and CB have been one of the best defensive backcourts in the league with volume. And Christian is showing chops of being able to guard dudes bigger than him. Right here, he gets to switch onto Bam, and Bam is looking for the kick out. But Bam's going to get the ball right back. Now Bam is looking to post up Christian, and this is good defense by Christian as he forces Bam to make a good pass to the corner. Now Christian's playing the nail, and Vlachto gets the rotation over to the corner and gets a good block in the clutch. Oh, and best believe he's a Luka stopper. Right here, Christian navigates the screen over Bullock, and he's gonna guard Luka, and Luka's about to hit him with the size up, but Christian's big enough and he has some decent length to go ahead and get a good contest on Luka's shot. Decent length is a stretch. He has a negative wingspan, but you get my point. And after getting a bucket, he's pulling a Hall of Fame pass by picking up Luka half court. Okay, for our actual possessions, look at this right here. Christian kind of gets caught on the screen and he's delayed a little bit, but he picks up and gets a really good contest on Luka. Okay, here's another possession where he kind of gets delayed on the screen and gets behind on Luka's hip, and he gets Luka into a post up, and Luka still made it, but even then, that's still really good defense. And here's some more hounding on ball defense by Christian. Right here, Luka gets him to bite on the left to right cross, but Christian picks right back up and gets a good contest on Luka's drive. That is a respectable play for keeping his head up. And in my last video that I posted about Christian Braun, which is I think close to 8K views at this point, y'all mentioned that you wanted me to talk about his offense. So I will, and he's going to bring a few things. One is shooting. He's been shooting 37% from 3 this year, and in the past 13 games, he's been shooting 50%. So take what you want from that. In this Wolves game where the Nuggets got smacked with other starters, Christian had a career high. And he showed us what he can do, which was something that he was doing at Kansas. And plays like this were one of them. Being able to get to the rim and make some crafty finishes. And here's another one. I think this is going to be his bread and butter in the NBA. Being able to play downhill in transition and get to the rim and make some finishes like this. And Christian will never be like a real 3-level guy, but this mid-range shot is kind of cool. And here is another drive of Christian showing his strength. Oh, and here is some transition movement shooting chops. And coming out of the 2022 draft, Christian was one of the best players at attacking off the catch and closeouts, and right there he proved that. Here is another play where he attacks a closeout and just goes up for a dunk. And by the way, Christian has legit bounce. He don't be pulling out the crazy dunks that he can do, but he does have a 40-inch vertical if you did not know. He's also caught a few bodies this season.
Christian Braun tries to throw it.
He also caught a body on some of y'all MVP, by the way. So yeah, Christian Braun's one of the better guard defenders and wing defenders for the rookie class this year. He's a solid offensive player. He can shoot, he cuts really well, he plays off the ball really well, and he attacks closeouts and attacks off the catch really well. And he's a really good play finisher, and I think that's a ceiling. I basically covered that in my last video. If you guys do want to watch that, you can. That video, it does kind of suck, I ain't gonna lie. This video is definitely much better. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you could always subscribe and leave a like, and let me know how you feel about this video. Not asking for it, but it would be appreciated, you know what I'm saying? It's to grow the channel, etc, etc. And yeah, I'm out.
Dumbly, I ain't want her cash, she seen them racks and it got through to me. I ain't cool with dude, but dude low, keep thinking he cool with me. We gon' stick to beefing, boy, you tweaking, talking about unity. No, we trained to go, boy, hate your hoe, cause she be choosing me. Big gon' hit the road.